Hey, so I want to give you guys some recommendations of who to follow or check out at least to see if they're of your flavor. As a beginner, you don't know who to follow, who's good. So the first guy is the new Boston. He's like the OG of developers who made a YouTube channel teaching tutorials. And it shows, I mean, he has 2 million subscribers. The only thing is he disappeared like 2 years ago, so some of his stuff is like, from back then. But either way, the concepts he has here, it's relevant. Like the concepts never change. So it's good because he'll teach you in a way that's like he messes around, he jokes around, and it's all simplified for you as a newbie. The first guy I found that was good. I'm glad I did too. And then the next guy is Traversy Media. Traversy Media is like the new boss. He's like version 2.0 basically. Everything is in a simplified version, and he is always uploading stuff. So right now you see here, uploaded 2 days ago, 4 days ago, 7 days ago. He's active, and he has a playlist of like anything you can ever think of. He most likely has it, and it's all like just these little crash courses that gives you a good understanding overview of whatever it is you're trying to learn. I still use him to this day. He's like my number one as far as trying to learn a concept, like the overview, like a general idea of something quickly, and get started working with it already. The next guy is Fredrik Christenson. It's hard to explain his channel, but basically it's people will submit real good questions to him and he'll answer them. But he'll give his, it's an opinion of course, right? Nothing's factual, but he'll give his like logical points as to why he has the opinion that he has. So he's not just like saying, I believe in this. Like he'll back it up with some logical points that does make sense. So whether you agree with him or not, he has some valid points behind his opinion. And it's always like questions that are just interesting that you wouldn't ever think of as a junior developer. This guy's a senior developer, so it's good to see his viewpoint of things, right? Because as a junior developer, you don't know anything. And it's good to have some kind of like idea of topics that you would have never been exposed to. The next guy is CodingPhase. He's like, his channel is a motivational channel, basically. He does have courses, and they're good courses, but essentially his YouTube channel is motivational. So like if you feel like quitting, you feel like you're not good enough at times, and you're gonna feel like that as a newbie. You just are, because there's a lot of roadblocks you hit, and you think, man, I'm not getting this, I'm not getting that, blah blah blah, and you might feel like quitting or might feel like taking a week off, stuff like that. This channel is good just to keep you motivated and keep going, okay? You don't ever want to quit. You want to keep going no matter if you go an hour a day. Just try not to skip too many days in a row because it's hard to get back in it. It's all about momentum, okay? And don't worry, you'll get to where you want to get to as long as you don't quit. Like, no one's not good enough for this. It doesn't take like a super genius to become a developer. It just takes a lot of dedication, a lot of consistency, For example, it may take your friend, 3 or 6 months to get certain concepts. It may take you 2 years. But it doesn't really matter, right, in the long run, because eventually you will get to where you want to get to. Just don't quit. That's the point. Just don't quit. Keep going, improving. Even if it's 0.0001%, it doesn't matter. Just keep going and improving, and you'll get to where you want to get to. If it's 1 year, if it's 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, 5 years, it doesn't matter. You'll get to where you want to get to as long as you don't quit. So just keep that in mind, okay? I know it gets tough. I know you want to quit sometimes. I understand that. Just don't. Just don't, okay? If you're generally interested in this career, just don't. In any career, don't ever quit. Joshua Fluke's the next guy. You know what? This guy also, when you search him, search for the web developer portfolio. Their reviews. He reviews everyone's portfolio, which is good because I think he studied design in college. I'm not sure, but he'll say, hey, this looks bad. Take this off. Blah blah blah. Tweak this out, etc. And they're really good. So I recommend his portfolio reviews to check them out. The next guy is Joshua Fluke again. He has really good resume reviews. He'll break down a resume and say, hey, take this off, take off your GPA from your college. No one cares about that. Just put this over here. He'll basically break down a resume to tell you, hey, this is how you should formulate a resume, because he has some experience in that. And overall, he has good. He's a motivational channel too, as well. Basically, he has good live streams. He'll answer every single question. You know how some YouTubers they'll look at the chat and then they won't answer the hard questions. They'll only like answer one of the questions per hour, and it's always an easy question no one cares about. Well, this guy will answer. He'll touch upon every single answer. He'll literally answer every single question, even if it's a troll question. He'll still answer in some way. It may not be super deep, but he'll gives you enough so that you can Google the rest of that answer. Okay, so I really like that about him because no one does that. No one answers every single damn question. I mean, and he has a lot of knowledge. He's like a little mini Joe Rogan. He must read a lot or listen to a lot of podcasts or whatever. The next guy is Funfun, and this guy is a JavaScript guy. So if you're in HTML and CSS right now, you don't need to look him up right now. But when you hit JavaScript, look him up for. He had right here for higher order functions. Look him up for that when you get to this guy. It's a bit deeper, so he may not be as helpful for you even while you're in JavaScript because he talks about like more advanced stuff. But for this, it's good for you. It's good for you to check him out for at least once you touch upon JavaScript. I think he worked at Spotify or one of these big tech companies. He knows he's a senior developer as well, obviously, and he knows his shit. So check him out. The next guy I want to talk about is Carey. I'm not sure. Oh, he does. Okay, he has front end right here. I've only taken his MySQL and his database design. This is the backend, guys. So this stuff here, MySQL and database design, is the backend. If you're learning HTML and CSS, don't watch this stuff. You don't need to. You need to go in order. HTML, CSS, then JavaScript. But he does have an HTML and CSS tutorial right here. I would recommend checking it out. I haven't checked this out yet, but I can attest to these two, MySQL and database design, and it was really good. He teaches it in a way that doesn't overwhelm you. So I really recommend this kid. And just understand that out of all the guys, everyone in YouTube, as far as tutorials go, you're not going to memorize everything that you watch. Just because you watch the video, just because I watch this, doesn't mean I know MySQL. It doesn't work like that. What it does, it gives you a good overview of whatever it is you watch. And then when you start to apply it to your personal projects and encounter bugs and issues and trying to figure stuff out that wasn't on the tutorial, that's where you learn the most. That's where it just sticks in your mind. Just watching the tutorial by itself doesn't mean you know it. I mean, in the very beginning, I watched some. It was by Traversy Media. It was a PHP/MySQL course. And it must have been like 30-something videos or whatever it was. And I don't know PHP. I don't know it now. I never knew it. Technically, I never knew it. I followed along with the tutorial and I built the CRUD app that he built. But it doesn't mean that I learned it. I just followed along. I copied and pasted whatever the hell he was putting on the screen. But when it came time for me to make my own project, like about a week or two later, I just didn't remember anything that he had there. So just because you do the video, whatever, doesn't mean anything. Just it gives you a good understanding and helps you to, in the future, if you get stuck on something, to have an idea of what to Google, right? Because if you don't even have any concept of anything, then you don't even know what to Google to fix your bug. So these tutorials are like, it gives you a broader understanding of whatever it is you're trying to learn. So that way, if you get stuck, you remember some term from the video that you can now Google and you can fix your bug. That's what it's good for. And as far as learning and retaining in your mind, you get that from just doing that over and over again on your own projects. You don't get that from following along a tutorial that's bug-free and everything goes perfect, because you're just literally copy-pasting. You don't learn like that, okay? Use that as a tool to learn, though. Okay, you could always reference back the video while you're building your own project, and for a piece of code that you're having issues with, and you could always implement it that way. I always have done that in the past, and any new tech that I learn, I either go to documentation or Google, or I'll go back to the video and I'll go, okay, this is how you did. Okay, let me tweak that out for what I need in my code, right? That's the way you kind of learn how to code really. That's the way it retains in your mind when you're using it for your own projects, not just copy paste. All right, guys. So this was geared more for newbies. If you don't have your go-to guys, you should have like two or three go-to guys. Meaning, whenever I learn a new concept or I'm trying to learn something new, I just YouTube my instructor his name. So let's say if I'm trying to learn CSS, I'll put CSS Traversy Media. I watch a course on CSS from him first, and if I still don't get whatever concept that I'm looking for, let's say it's CSS, then I go to my second guy and then my third guy, right? But usually because these guys I've already picked out, but after I watch one video from him, I usually have a good understanding of whatever it is I'm trying to learn. It saves you so much time than just random YouTubing, just CSS tutorial or HTML tutorial or whatever, or JavaScript or React, whatever it is you're trying to learn. It saves so much time because you already have your go-to guys who have been tried and proven for you.